to the Saints Sports Corner. We got a great show for today. We're going to be discussing our first ever mock draft since the Senior Bowl ended, and we also going to be discussing some of the Saints news, some things that may have happened in the Saints world that was very eye-opening. Also, we also going to be discussing our current roster needs. We got a lot more of that on the Saints Sports Corner.
Yeah. Who that? Who that? Who that said they gon' beat them Saints? A win is a win by a mile or an inch. It's any given Sunday when we battling in the trenches. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Die hard even after an L. Still reppin' in my section, yelling outside the dome, going home. Who that? We that? Black and gold soul, that's my song. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Touchdown Saints, putting points on the board is how my squad steady winning. Sacks on D, turnovers, wow, don't even think about. Coming back, it's already late in the fourth now. We that, who that, we that, who that, who that, who that. 4,000-yard QB, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,200-yard receiver, straight pressure. Lockdown corner, throw that ball if you want it. TFL's in the backfield, boy, we on you. Black and gold, so that's what I'm all about. Forget about the division, the Saints run the South. Who that, we that. Who that? We that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that?
Welcome in, man. You already know what it is. Welcome in. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If y'all subscribe, I appreciate it, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and give me a follow, man. But as always, let's dive right in, man. The Saints got a lot of things going on, man. They just come from the Senior Bowl, the scouts and the staff. The game, it was a low-scoring game. You know, they had some standout guys that the Saints were scouting, man. You already know how this roster looks. You already know the pieces that's coming back. We also know some pieces that may not be coming back, which is news because Demario Davis did an interview with Kay Adams, and Demario Davis was talking about he's not sure if he's going to come back with the Saints. Now, I'm under the impression he's just talking and, you know, maybe they bring him back for one more year. But on top of that, as of now, if he doesn't come back, we're going to have to upgrade that linebacker need. But right now, man, let's just dive right in, man. So the Saints' current roster needs, like we discussed on the previous pod, was the interior offensive line. And we know that's the most important piece the Saints got to clean up this offseason. We know the Saints' interior offensive line, the center and two guard spots, is the two spots the Saints need to clear up, and that center spot may have to get a quality backup, you know, or if a guy, they could get somebody cheap in free agency because the Saints center Eric McCoy consistently has been consistently going down the last 2 years. But at the same time, we got to make sure we hit on a draft pick so that we can shore up the line and we won't consistently have these problems. I know what you're saying. We have Cesar Ruiz. We plan to boatload him under the Cesar Ruiz. I'm not sure Cesar Ruiz will still be a Saint by this offseason. I can be wrong. We going to find out. But I just feel like they can upgrade at that position and it will do wonders for the running game. So because of that sense, I'm saying Cesar Ruiz might get traded, might get some draft capital for him, or they might just outright releases. I don't know, but that's me. That's what the direction I would go in. So the interior offensive line, we say we need, we could use another cornerback. We say we need some edge rushers. We say we need some tight ends, definitely some safeties. We also say the tackles were set, you know, and things like that. But we gonna dive right into the mock draft, because I know that's what y'all came here for. This is the first annual mock draft on Mock Draft Monday. So we just gonna dive right in. With the 8th overall pick, the New Orleans select Ruben Bain. That's right, Ruben Bain. Now I know he may not fall this far. Ruben Bain may not fall this far. The guy is probably a top 3 prospect in this draft. And if you're any other teams that's trying to build through the draft, he'll be a guy who probably comes off in the top 5 pick. I know everybody is like, there's no way he get there. And it's possible he may not get there. But if I'm looking to build a team and I'm looking to win championships, it starts with the guys up front. And just like they consistently found guys on the offensive line, now they got to consistently find guys on the defensive line, because Cam Jordan is not getting any younger. So you got to have to find this replacement. Chase Young still has to get to a point where we can trust him long term. So I'm going Ruben Bain as insurance, because Ruben Bain is a player you just can't pass up on. And get Jeremiah Love as a guy you want to see, but I got something that is comparable with Jeremiah Love with a lot more explosiveness later on in the draft. So with that 8th pick, we're going Ruben Bain, the defensive end out of Miami. Coming up next, we got wide receiver Chris Bell. That's right, wide receiver Chris Bell out of Louisville, a guy that Tyler Shuck already knows. So he could hit the ground running as soon as the Saints draft him. He could be another 2nd round steal, the same way Tyler Shuck was a 2nd round steal out of Louisville. A big body, speedy wide receiver that can be like Robert Meacham, but also has the physicality and toughness to break tackles, and get free. So the Saints can use explosiveness, and that's what I went with this draft. Get fast, physical, and explosive. And Chris Bell fits that need. A wide receiver, a big body, fast, explosive receiver that can get downfield, that potentially can run a 4.4, probably a sub 4.3, and Tyler Shuck can have some weapons. So Chris Bell, your 2nd round pick, number 42nd overall. Let's go to the number 3 pick. That will be Guinness Dunker, the tackle out of Iowa. Guinness Dunker, the tackle out of Iowa. Fast, physical, technically sound. A guy who can maul people, a guy who likes to maul people. An old school offensive lineman. Probably is going to kick in the guard. That's why I got him. He's 6'5", 330, big, nasty. And all he likes to do is just maul people. That's the kind of guy that Saints need. We haven't had a guy like that since Jairi Everett, Carl Nicks. You know what I'm saying? So getting a guy like that could start to shore up this offensive line so that the Saints can not only run the ball, but could protect Tyler Shuck in the middle. Because those defensive tackles, man, they faster, they stronger, man. They like baby defensive ends in the middle. And guess what? Tyler Shuck, the quickest way to get pressure is through the interior offensive line. So to protect Tyler Shuck so he could step through these throws, throw these bombs to these receivers, we get him an offensive line. Guinness Dunker, number 8, the 81st overall pick from Iowa. Okay, what we got next? Now, this is the one I want y'all to pay attention to. This is the guy I want y'all to pay attention to. I get it. I don't even know if he's going to last this long, to be honest with you. I do not know if this guy is going to last this long. He's explosive, dealt with a few injuries. This guy not only can run the ball, but he can catch the ball as well. He scores touchdowns. And that's the most important thing we need the New Orleans Saints to do, is score touchdowns. This guy is a similar build to Jeremiah Love, but he is substantially faster. And when he hit the edge, he is gone. We're talking about Nicholas Singleton, running back from Penn State. He's my sleeper pick for the New Orleans Saints. I'm telling you, I get we got guys like Real Deal, Devin Neal, Evan Kamara, Kendre Miller. But this guy is going to push Kendre Miller, because let me tell you something. He can absolutely fly. guy was clocked at 23 miles per hour in one game. This guy can be the game breaker the Saints been missing for a few seasons. He can do everything Alvin Kamara do, just with substantially more speed. This guy, who there's a reason why I passed on Ruben, that I didn't pass on Ruben Band. I get it. Jeremiah Love, he's bigger, he's more stronger, he's consistent. But running backs, there's just so many, and it's really like pick the flavor that you love. And if Jeremiah Love is somebody you love, then by all means go get him. But I'm not taking Jeremiah Love over Ruben Bain. Pass rushers are hard to find. Now, I get that the Saints run a 3-4, so you can get these tweeners late in the draft also. But you don't find Ruben Bains. Ruben Bains don't grow on trees. But this guy, Nicholas Singleton, is an absolute game breaker. And I'm talking like Jamar Gibbs game breaker, but a bigger frame. So, Nicholas Singleton is the sleeper pick you guys should be excited for. If you look at his highlights, man, the guy can absolute run that thing. Now, he didn't have much production. He didn't have the Jeremiah Love production, but for the 4th round pick, I'm taking a flyer on Nicholas Singleton. That's the pick. 32nd pick, cornerback Damani Jones. Now, we know we're set at cornerbacks, but I still feel like we can find a late gem the same way we found a late gem last year, and we can get a guy who can have the potential to lock somebody down just in case, we lose a corner or two in all season, because it's very possible we'll lose a corner, and Alontae Taylor might get a big payday. So what do? Well, let's draft a carbon copy of Alontae Taylor, but a guy who can cover more than Alontae Taylor. And this guy from Alabama, this guy is big, he's long, he's rangy, and this guy is an absolute stud when he turns it on. He can be a late gem. We're talking about Damani Jackson, the cornerback from Alabama. This guy can absolutely cover. He's a cover corner in every sense. He have blazing speed. He can stay with any wide receiver. That's not any wide receiver. Speed guy, big guy, small guy, short guy. This guy can do it. Damani Jackson from Alabama. He's going to be the 132nd pick of this New Orleans Saints draft in 2026. Okay, moving on. 136 pick. Yes, I did make trades. I know you guys going to ask. I did make a few trades. I made a few trades because I wanted to make sure I come out here with assets that Tyler Shuck can work with, an asset that the defense can work with. We got to make sure we keep it balanced on both sides. So, with your 136th pick, we drafted a tight end from Cincinnati, Joe Royal. Now, this guy looks like an extension when it comes to wide receiver. After Jawan Johnson, we really don't have no tight ends. That's just a fact. After Jawan Johnson, we really don't have nobody that can really get out there and catch the ball. If Jawan Johnson go down, we don't have no tight ends. But this guy, Joe Royal, is a guy who can absolutely get it done. He can go across the middle. He can catch that thing. He's big. He used to play for Ohio State. He transferred to Cincinnati for playing time. And look, this guy can absolutely get it done. He could be another late round steal for the New Orleans Saints. A tight end that can actually move the change. If you're looking for a comp, he can be a guy like Dalton Schultz, somebody like that. Not necessarily a high-end tight end, but a tight end who could get it done. A tight end who could catch over the middle, who's consistent. So a guy like Joe Royal will be a nice tight end to go alongside Jawan Johnson so that Tyler Shuck could consistently have playmakers on the field and help this Saints score touchdowns instead of 3 and outs. Moving on. Now, this guy may have one of the best names in the draft. he may have one of the best names in the draft. This guy is a nose tackle out of Cincinnati, another teammate of the tight end we just drafted. This guy is a guy who's big, and I get it. We're stuffed at the defensive tackle, but I don't think we're keeping all of those guys. I don't think we're keeping all of those guys at defensive tackle. I think Nathan Shepard, this might be it for him. I think we still got Gacho under contract. We still got, and I know we can use probably another linebacker, but until they say DeMario's not coming back, we're gonna wait up. It's just the first one. We're not gonna get all the bites from the apple. There may be some sneaky linebackers we could sign in free agency. So we're gonna go Dante Corleone. That's what we're going to do. Dante Corleone, the defensive tackle, nose tackle out of Cincinnati. Dante Corleone is a guy who is powerful. He's small, so he plays with pad level. He'll be a guy who can just help stop the run. He's very good at stopping the run. And also, we can use him as a rotational piece. We know we got a defensive tackle coming off an injury. We're not quite sure if they're going to continue to play Brian Breesy all over the field, if he's going to kick in nose tackles sometimes. I know they're going to be multiple, but this guy is another big body you can add alongside Ruben Bain, Cam Jordan, Chase Young. Another guy that could be a rotational piece that could stop the run, because we struggle with stopping the run, and stopping the run is what he do. So I think that'll bode well for the New Orleans Saints, and that will help our run game. So Dante Corleone. Yeah, Corleone. Imagine him getting tackles for losses. Corleone. But yeah. But last but not least, we got a ball hawk. Safety out of TCU, Bud Clark. This guy is a ball hawk. Now, again, guys like this don't last this long, to the 6th round. So I don't foresee him lasting this long. I don't foresee him being on the board. But if he is, Saints should go get him. They don't have many safeties. The guy Blackman continues to get injured. So he has to put a healthy season together. So why not draft a safety? I can see them going Caleb Downs if they trade out of that 8 pick. If a guy like Love and a guy like Bain is gone, and a guy like who else? Tyson is gone. I can see them trading out that pick. So I can see the Saints drafting this guy, and he's a ball hawk. He got a few INTs for touchdowns. This guy's rangy. He's big. He's physical. You know what I'm saying? So look. We addressed every need that the Saints needed, and the most important ones like defensive end, running back, wide receiver. We got us a tight end that could catch the ball. Got us a safety just in case another ball hawk, because Blackman is a ball hawk. So we addressed everything we needed, and potentially we can get an offensive guard, a backup center in free agency, or maybe a tight end in free agency. I don't know. But as far as compounding on what the Saints already built when it comes to this first draft, I think this will be a nice complement to the draft the Saints already have. Now, guys are going to get it pushed up. Guys are going to get it pushed down. So these rankings are going to be Jekyll and Hyde for different people. But as far as bona fide players who can make plays, this is the guys that I have for the Saints when it comes down to my mock draft. And I think they're going to be all right. As long as you got the quarterback, everything else should fall in place. Now, they still can't rest on their laurels. They got to continue to build it. And Shuck is making his rounds. He's looking good out there. He's on every show. Guys getting to know Shuck. So, like I said, it's going to be a much tougher year for Tyler Shuck, just based on the fact that guys going to be watching his tape. They're going to try to figure out what they missed. They're going to try to figure out what rattled him. And I think Tyler Shuck will be fine. But to add another element to Kellen Moore's schemes, to add another element to Kellen Moore's scheme, to add another element to the Saints, both defensively and offensively, we got us some players. Man. So I think we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready. Now, God forbid any injuries happen. We already know the injury bug in New Orleans is crazy. So hopefully, knocking on wood, the Saints will be fully healthy and we'll be ready to go when it comes to the 2026 season. But it looks like we lost some coaches. Jari Evans signed to the Steelers. That's a big loss. Jari is really good with that offensive line to me, you know. So, like I said, as long as they got Kellen Moore, as long as they got Brandon Staley, I think they'll be fine. Because Brandon Staley, man, Brandon Staley showed me something when it came to that defense. I thought he'd be in a head coaching cycle, but 1 year removed from getting fired, maybe he's not as hot of a name. But what he did with this team, it shouldn't be snarkled at. This guy actually did a fantastic job. Fantastic job with this defensive team. Just wanted to get up this mock draft. We got the scouting combine on the way. That's gonna be crazy. So it's gonna be a lot of information, a lot of news coming out, man, here this month, in the next couple of weeks, because things about to ramp up. Pro days, all of this stuff about to start coming, man. So stay tuned. We're gonna have some more mock draft Mondays. We're gonna talk about some news as they come. We also gonna be talking about some player profiles. We're gonna do a lot of things, man. But as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching the Saints Sports Corner. Have a good evening.